continuing on with our listener interactions that we have here, we have an email from a listener by the name of Michelle who says, I wanted to say, I've been trying to understand the reason Trump behaves and the things that he says. Finally, an epiphany. You mentioned his age and available faculties. Thank you. You're welcome. I firmly believe that the guy is infirmed. He's not right in the head. And she continues here saying that I love my memories of my grandfather, which is like getting into, I mean, I appreciate you sharing your story, but at the same time, it's like it's getting in deep into non sequitur immediately. But he would blurt out random shit about Robert Redford destroying Utah, and he was not senile, just old and conditioned to a warped sense of reality. Which I think every age group kind of goes through that. And before senility sets in, there are people where it's like, I've watched a documentary recently. I think it was like how Fox News kidnapped my father or something like that, or can't remember what the name of it was, but I remember watching it. And it was essentially how this lady's dad went from being like this progressive, pretty much liberal guy to becoming a hardcore conservative guy because he listened to nothing but talk radio when he was driving places and he watched Fox News. Like when he was hearing only one side of the situation, and he changed like behaviors like a completely different person. Like it warped his brain. It's really weird to see somebody descend like that. Let's see. She also said that he was a World War II POW and a great man, but also very narrow and severe in some aspects. I think that might be the PTSD talking.
Maybe.
I find, and we're not making fun. Sorry, Michelle, we're not making fun, but it's just like I remember my dad coming back from Gulf War, which was not nearly as bad as anything previous generations have gone through. But anytime you stress the fuck out of people like that and have them around people and could be near their death, it fucks with them a lot. So she says, I find even in myself, change and aging is a painful process. And I'm in my late 30s and I'm starting to find this out too. I'm like, I don't feel old. Why do everybody like look so young? I don't feel old. Like I'm only 37. I shouldn't feel this old. Anyway, she says that I'm 52 and seeing myself becoming invisible in so many ways. And that would be the marketing department because they are aiming for our current generation right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And once you hit into your your early 50s and stuff, late into your 60s, and they kind of forget that you are a buying block. They want the most spread of the bell end. So,
yeah. Well, I mean that section of the population, they're not very. They're not power consumers.
No, definitely not.
Most of them don't have
got.
A lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she says that I totally agree that this is a human denying his vulnerability, age, and impotence. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I can see why that might make some people kind of crazy.
Impotence?
Well, Trump is very much impotent.
Careful. Oh, no. Yeah, he's a limp fucking noodle.
Well, I was talking I was talking about his virility.
Macaroni. There we go. Macaroni. He is a limp, overcooked macaroni. There we go.
See, and I wasn't going, penis. I was going like he has no like real power. Like he's not a broker of power right now at all.
There's that too. But there's also I'm pretty sure he is completely impotent. And even if you weren't, you probably couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Just based off the way he holds and carries himself and talks.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's
the way he shut down that interview and he kind of like retreated to behind his desk and turned his back to the guy. It's like, oh my gosh, if you read body signals, like this is a beaten man. Like, well, I give up. Me give up. I give up.
And I hate to use the terminology, but that's, little dick syndrome. I gotta hate that terminology. But that's really not only somebody who's not comfortable with themselves, but really feels like they have to overcompensate.
And she says, sorry, go ahead.
I think if he could get away with it, he would be driving on a very big truck.
You saw the way he looked in that
all over DC.
You saw the way he looked inside that
Oh
fucking
fuck!
semi truck. That's my screensaver at work right now.
Oh,
I keep the windows up on my computer all the time. I don't want somebody.
I'm sure he has never felt. I'm sure he's never felt so virile in his life. Look at my truck.
Where's Melania? I got 3 inches to put in her.
Fuck.
I'm full steam ahead. I'm Donald Trump, bitch. Oh, and see, to finish out here, she says, and I hope I and all get to reach and accomplish our beloved hopes before we suffocate in the steaming pile of human greed. Steaming shit pile of human greed. And I do too. I hope we get to do everything we want to do before we die. That's ultimately what I'm aiming for these days. Is part of me is going to live on because this podcast is paid for like another decade. So if I die, people can still find the back catalog. I'm kidding. I haven't paid 10 years in advance. That'd be the smart thing to do, but I'm not that smart. Anyway, thanks for your wonderful email there, Michelle. We love hearing from our listeners. And everybody, please come at us with this shit. We love talking about this kind of thing.
Android.